NBC's Connie Chung.
Tom, we make such a big deal about Reagan Democrats. The media seems to be obsessed with Reagan Democrats. Who are they? They are people who identify with the Democratic Party but voted for Ronald Reagan in 1984. Now, Bush campaign strategists have consistently said that Bush only needs 1/3 of Reagan Democrats to win. So let's take a look at our sampling as it continues across the country. So far, here are the numbers. Bush is winning 41% of Reagan Democrats. Dukakis is winning 59% of Reagan Democrats. He's bringing them back home to the Democratic Party. Superficially, you might say that's good for Dukakis, but bear in mind, once again, Bush strategists had said that all he needed was 1/3. And if you want to believe these figures for now, so far, he's getting that. Now, who are Reagan Democrats? We have this impression that they are Joe Sixpack, the lunch pail factory worker, but indeed they are not. They are white collar, they can be blue collar, they can be professional, managerial, and more importantly, Reagan Democrats is probably a new phrase for an old person who has been around for a long time. If you go back and look in history, you'll see that a lot of Southern conservative Democrats have been voting. They've been straying away from the Democratic Party for quite some time. They can also be Catholics in the Northeast. Now, Ken Bode talked with a lot of voters in Akron, Ohio about this specific subject, and here's his Precinct Express report.
Connie, I'm in Akron, Ohio, outside the King Elementary School. I'm with Mike Petrus, who tells me that you voted for Reagan last time.
Yes.
And who did you vote for today?
Dukakis. I didn't care for the Republicans' ticket of Bush and Quayle. The idea scares the hell out of me one heartbeat away, and that possibility is always there.
7 precincts vote at this school. It's a white-collar crowd, lots of professionals, a mix of Republicans and Democrats, and they tended to split their votes. Mary Ann Walter is a Democrat who voted for Bush.
And Democratic was pro-choice.
Right.
Right, and I'm not pro-choice, I'm against abortion.
Frances Gardner, age 81, is a registered Democrat who voted twice for Reagan and today for Bush. Why?
Democrats to me are too liberal, in my estimation.
Too liberal. From Akron, Ohio, Connie, back to you.
All right, thank you, Ken.
NBC's Lynn Sherr is up on the second deck with the latest on what those exit polls are telling us. Lynn?
Peter, you talked about Ohio. We have some information about what happened there tonight. George Bush won the white vote. He won the male vote. He split the women's vote with Mike Dukakis. What George Bush did not do was win all those so-called Reagan Democrats. Those are the Democrats who defected to Ronald Reagan in 80 and 84. Let's take a look at the numbers. As of our information, George Bush won only 43%. That's less than half of the Reagan Democrats. Mike Dukakis winning 56%. Now, the reason that's important is he didn't do as well, but Dukakis, by rights, should have won them all. So that contributed to the Bush victory. Now, who are these Democrats? Right now, we're going to call them Bush Democrats, because when you look at these, he's inherited them, and he gets to call them his at this point. 37% of them said abortion was an important issue to them. 29% said the death penalty. 21% said the Pledge of Allegiance. And the Bush Democrats care more strongly about these issues than do all other Democrats in Ohio. One other point we
go to the upper deck and ABC's Lynn Sherr.
Peter, we have some information on a couple of those toss-up states you've been referring to. The big industrial states of Illinois and Pennsylvania, too close to call still at this hour. And one of the reasons is that in these states, there is a real battle for the Democrats who voted for Ronald Reagan in 1984. Let's take a look at the numbers. Just for example, in the state of Pennsylvania, the 84 Reagan Democrats, Bush is getting 45%, Dukakis 54%. Now, what that means is that Dukakis is holding on to enough of those so-called Reagan Democrats to keep it close. That is also happening in Illinois.